Hi guys, welcome to Charities Baba USA, your number one channel. Guys, I'm here. Today I'm gonna do a recorded show because at the time that we go for the live show, I'm gonna be caught up doing something else. My name is Charity Nganga. I want to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Guys, you guys are awesome, awesome. We have reached 3,070 subscribers, and I know that you are going to support me to go on and to this road 4,000. So guys, like I said, I have a WhatsApp group, Charities Bubble 1A, and that WhatsApp group is almost full. And like I said, I know so many people have inboxed me and told me, oh, you need to open a new one. I gave you a very good reason why I do not want to open a new WhatsApp group. That is because I am going back to school and I am not going to be able to manage all those groups. So I gave you an option to go to my YouTube fan page, my Facebook fan page, Charities Babo USA fan page, or you follow me on my Facebook page, Charity Nganga, and you can inbox me there. It's all the same because you will still be dealing with me directly, and I will be able, if you have a question, you can type it there and I'll be able to answer it for you, because I've gotten a lot of feedback from people like, oh, where are we gonna go if you're not in the group? So that is how. But since I normally put out the link, it is always good to try and get in, because you find that some people are there, some people want to leave, so the group might never be full. But as for of now, I know I've received so many messages that it is full. So on that area, I am not going to start another one until I am done with school, guys. And I hope that you can bear me with me on that. So the other thing is to thank all my subscribers. If you are new here on this channel and you haven't subscribed, kindly consider subscribing. In this channel, we talk about matters of the USA because I live here, and I feel like it's good to share. Like I say, just when I came here, I did not have so much. I didn't know so much. I came here with a DV lottery, of which it was just witch hunting. Yes, and but then after staying here for a long time and learning the system and knowing many things, and of course, even going to school, I felt like it was good to share, because you find that this information sometimes is very hard to find, especially in Africa. Sometimes you have to pay people to give you the information, or sometimes you do not even have access, and maybe you get the wrong information. So what I do, I read from the website travel.state.gov. I come, I share here, and I also tell you guys that after you have watched my video, it is always good to verify. I normally do my live shows on Saturday at noon and on Monday at noon, whereby I answer questions that people have asked me through my WhatsApp group, through the Facebook page, and that's how we roll. And of course, I answer the live questions. So even if it's not going to be a live show, you can type your question there, and I am going to see it. I'm going to answer it on the Monday live show. So we have some few questions that have been asked by the members, and the first question that I'm going to talk about is if someone wanted to bring a pet. There was a person who asked, what if I have my pet and I win my green card and I want to immigrate with it? Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to share a website here from the CDC about bringing pets, because it's always good to go to the source and see what the CDC says about bringing in pets. So this is the website for Center for Disease Control and Prevention, bringing a dog into the United States. So I am going to make this screen big so that we can read and see. If you want to bring your pet, what are you supposed to do? Because you can. It doesn't say that you cannot, but there are some regulations that you have to follow, and you have to follow them to the T, so that you are able to bring your animal here in the US. So I'm going to make a full screen layout here so that we can be able to read, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I hope I am, so that we can be able to read and see what they say. Now, bringing a dog in the United States. Now, as of July 14, 2021, there is a temporary suspension for dogs entering the United States from high-risk countries for dog rabies. This includes dogs arriving from countries not high risk if the dogs have been in the high-risk country for the past 6 months. Now, the CDC has the authority to issue a CDC import permit for U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents relocating from high-risk countries to bring their dogs to the United States. Such permits will be issued on a limited basis. So the first one, they said as of July 14, there is a temporary suspension. Now, update. Effective December 1, 2021, dogs vaccinated in the U.S. by a U.S. licensed veterinarian may re-enter the United States from a high-risk country without CDC dog import permit if the dog has valid U.S. issued rabies vaccination certificate, proof of a microchip, at least 6 months old, is healthy upon arrival, and arrives at an approved port of entry. So in simple words, as of July 14, 2021, there's a temporary suspension. So you cannot for now. But the CDC can give you a permit to import your dog on a limited basis if you are a legal permanent resident, or if you are US citizen, if your dog was vaccinated in the US. So that one, they can allow you to bring it back. But when you are in Africa and you have your dog and you are thinking of bringing it, I have read there that there's a temporary suspension. So don't worry about your dog. When we were coming in, we had a cat. And we felt so sad leaving it in Africa. We gave it to a neighbor, or a neighbor who adopted it, and it was so sad that they called us after some time, and they told us that the cat had died. But those are some of the things that you have to give up unless we look again into the website and we see that they have reopened for dogs to come in. But for now, like I've read for you, there's a temporary suspension for that. So it's very, very important for you to know that. Now, there's another video that had been shared in the WhatsApp group about let me see, citations for biometrics appointment. Now, these ones apply to the people who are in the US. They apply to students who are here in the US, and they apply to people who have a work visa here in the US, and they want to change their status from one to the other. So that one does not affect the people who are outside there. That one is specifically for the people who are here. And normally, if you want to change your status or to change your visa, normally you fill a form I-539, and then you book an appointment, and then you go for biometrics. What they mean by biometrics is your fingerprints. Normally, what happens is that when you go to any consular office, and when you look at this, it says USCIS. USCIS deals with people who are already in the US. So it's good to know that. It deals with the people who are in the US. So the biometrics is your fingerprints, whereby you put them in a certain, it's something like a computer, and it takes your prints. So that one applies to the people who are here. There's also another question that I had been asked about another video that I had been sent for by one of my viewers. They were talking about still about that. You find that if you are here and you have scheduled such an appointment, you have to make sure that you show up. Or maybe if you want to reschedule appointment, you reschedule it, because if you do not, you are a no-call, no-show. A no-call, no-show is whereby you have not called to reschedule the appointment and you did not show up. They will say that you have abandoned the form I-35, and you might be denied whatever you want to change your status to. So that one does not apply to the people who are outside. It applies to the people who are already here. And actually, it doesn't apply to legal permanent residents or US citizens. It applies to those people who are students or those people who have a work visa. So I hope that you guys understood that. Now, I'm going to go to my YouTube and see the questions that have been asked by people. There's this question that this person was asking about the case number. They said that their case number is 30,000. Now, if you go back to my bulletin, there's a bulletin that I read for January, February. I need you to go and look at that number. When you look at that number, I said that it has a cutoff. It always has a cutoff. Now, when the number has a cutoff, from that number that they have cut off to the below, that is the people who are going to receive the second notification. And what I normally say is that, guys, when I bring out a video, please watch it. Because if you watch my video cleanly, you will be able to know that if I said, if the bulletin was said, and this is an example that I am giving, because I want you to go back and watch that video that I talked about, and I did it on It was a recorded video, and I'm gonna I'm gonna share it here. I'm gonna share the link here so that you can watch it. Whereby I said, if a cutoff, for example, and I'm going to give you a simple number, maybe the cutoff is 2,000. If the cutoff is 2,000, the people who are going to get their notification letter are going to be 2,000 and below. And that is what I explained. And I said that every visa bulletin, I will be coming here live and talking about it. But if it is 30,000 and we have not reached there, then your number is not going to be there. And you know, the visa bulletin comes in every new month. Every new month, a visa bulletin comes in. So please keep on following on the videos that I am doing about the visa bulletin, and then you will know. When I mentioned, because that person was saying that their number was 30,000, when the cutoff is 30,000 or it's above 30,000, that is when you will be near to get your second notification letter for you to go to the embassy. So it's very, very important for you to do that. Now, there's another one who was asking me, is there something like a corporate visa where if you manage to come to the USA, you are allowed to work? Now, if you come here and you are allowed to work, normally what I say is that unless you have applied for a job and the company has invited you, or they have agreed to hire you, and they have sent the agreement to hire you to the embassy. So what you need to do is to fill out the DS-160 and go to the embassy and prove that when you go to work, you will go to work, and then you will go back home after that period that you are going to be working for that company expires. Now, I am going to link a video there that I talked about, and I've talked about several. I talked about the cruise ship, whereby you are hired to work in a cruise ship, whereby I said that one happens in summertime. So what happens is that the company, you apply. You apply, and the link is here. It's here. I'm going to put it here on the comment section for that video. And then after you apply, it doesn't matter what job that you apply. After you have done the application, then you will be, they will send your documents to the embassy, and then they will hire you. They will hire you. Of course, that is I would say like that is like manual work, because normally maybe you'll be doing like being a bartender, or maybe you'll be doing like the activities of daily living and all that stuff. And I have talked about that in that video. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna link it here so that you guys can watch it and see the process. I have also talked about different types of visas, where I talked about visas like the EB1, the EB2, whereby those ones you can be invited to come and work if you are a manager on a corporate, or maybe there are others that you can come in to work, whereby you have your own company. But that one you have to have a lot of money for you to convince them that you are able to come start your own company and give American citizens some jobs. So they are there, but some of them require you to have a lot of capital, and some of them require you to be in a corporate position. You see what I mean? So let's assume, let's see. So I don't know what work that you do or what you have, but what I said is that normally you can go and apply for a student visa, and you come to study, especially if you have a degree or something. So it's easier. The more you are learned, the easier it is for you to get a degree, as opposed to someone who just left high school and they want to go and ask for a visa. I'm not saying that you cannot get, but it's easier for a person who has advanced more. And then you find that when you come here and maybe you finish your school, you can apply for a job, or when you're still schooling, you can see if you can be able to change your visa from one visa to another. That one happens. And of course, even if when you are in school, you can talk to your school, and they can help you depending on individual cases. They can help you to go and work outside and tell you these are the hours that you can work outside if you are not working in the campus. So those things work. But normally, the hardest thing is when you go to the consulate and you tell them that I work here and I want to go and work in the US. They will ask you, why don't you want to be hired in your country? You see what I mean? So unless you are in a corporate, maybe you are a manager somewhere, and maybe you have practiced for like 2 years, and your company, the company that you are working for, they have the same company here in the US. So it's like you're being sent to go and work in that company. You see what I mean? So that one happens. But you cannot just come from there. It doesn't matter whether you're in a corporate and you say that I want to go and work, unless you have been invited by a company here and they want to give you a job. That is, if you made an application. That is how you can get it. But just saying that I'm gonna go work, then they will ask you, where are you going to work? Hmm? So that is why sometimes you have to go online. And I say that if you go to indeed.com, they have so many jobs that are there. You can apply. And when you apply, you wait for the response. Hmm? After the response, if you're lucky, you get the job. Then they will help you with the process, because they normally help you with the process. And I was talking about agencies where I was saying that if you look for a job through an agency, it doesn't matter which agency that you are working. Agencies are more vast with immigrants, or with non-immigrants. They are vast with like people, foreigners, on how to help them to get jobs here. So you find that because they have all those materials, they are well equipped to guide someone. It is best to look for a job from an agency. And when you go to Indeed, there are so many agencies. And I think I should come and bring out that a website for Indeed, and you just type a job. So normally what happens, and I think I can do that right now. If you type I'm gonna you're not gonna see me because I'm gonna be typing here, but I'm gonna come back here in a minute. If you type in indeed.com, and I'm gonna share these with you guys at this website, because people just ask me what is that. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna share this website, so that you can see. You can ask, you can just look for a job. It doesn't matter. So share here. I think I should stop that one so that I can be able to share. And then I come here. I'm gonna do here job search. Indeed, you share. Now this website, you can look for any job. Dental assistant, immediately hiring, bartender, front desk receptionist. But some of these you find that they are not there. So let's assume that you are an engineer. You are an engineer, engineering. You see, I just typed engineer and all these jobs came up. I hope that you guys can be able to see. Let me make it big. Full screen layout there. So you see, you just type there, and then you type where. Like here it says Wichita, Kansas, because I live in Wichita. So if I say find jobs here, all these jobs are gonna come in. So normally what happens when you get that, it asks you, be the first to see the new engineer jobs in Wichita, Kansas, or wherever. Or maybe you can say you can change this and say jobs in New York. It doesn't matter whether you're typing New York there, and then you find jobs. So you see, they're here. The jobs are here, and they're saying. So now, normally what you will do is that because you have found the jobs, you can apply if you want to apply. And then normally what Indeed will tell you is that they will tell you to enter your email address here. After you enter your email address here, when you continue, they will ask you for your resume. After they ask you for your resume, you write your resume. Your resume is the history of the jobs that you have done, what you have been doing, and all that stuff. After you put your resume over there, then from there, you will be receiving so many job offers in your email. So you can apply. And it's not going to cost you anything to apply. So you can apply. After you apply, then you wait and see if you're going to get a response. If they are interested, I'm not going to tell you that it's 100% that you can get a job. No, if they are interested, because it's very easy to find a job, but the immigration systems, they make it very hard for people to get like a job direct to come and work here. But it is not, I'm not saying that it's not doable. It can be done, but if the company picks you, then they will send that whatever the application that you have made. They send all the details to the embassy, and what you will do is that, and they will still send you the information. What you will do is that you will fill out the DS2 160, and then you will still have the information for the company. And when you go for your interview, the company has sent their interview there in the embassy, and then they can interview you. And then after that, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt whether you will be able to work and go back to your country. So it can be doable, and that is the only way. Because and why I'm saying that is that I receive so many messages from people, and they tell me, "Oh, Charity, why don't you help us to get a job?" Whatever. It's very hard for someone to get, and I like to be honest, it's very hard for me to get anybody a job, because you find that here in the US, for you to be hired, you have to have the right paperwork. Hmm? If you do not have the right, if you don't come here as a permanent resident, actually, I am not going to get you a job. What I will tell you if I host you is that I am going to guide you. I will guide you. This is where you go to get your ID. This is where you get to go your social, to go get your social. Now this is where you do the application for the job. This is where you do the application for the job, and maybe I will give you a right to go to the job. But when it comes to the job interview, it is you who is going to do the job interview. You see what I mean? So what I do here is that I want us to unlearn that system of Africa, whereby if I want my son to get a job, I can go and talk to the boss, and the boss is going to give my son a job. I know that happens a lot in Africa, but when it comes here, is that if you have been hosted by someone, they are just a guide. They will let you, take you, or guide you, give you a ride to go and get your ID, give you a ride to go and get your social and all the documents that you need. And then from there, they will tell you, do the application for the job online. You will do it for yourself. After you do the application online, you will be sent to the address where you're going, and then your host will take you to the place. And then they will wait for you in the car, and then you will go for your interview. After you go for your interview, then you will come back. That is how it's done, guys. That is how it's done. So when I tell you, go to Indeed.com, go to apply. You never know. You can get a job depending on your qualification, but you have to be very, very qualified, guys, and you have to be very, very learned for you to be able to get a job. But and I told you about the O.net, whereby there are job categories. You find that there is job zone 1, job zone 2, job zone 3, job zone 4. If maybe you are doing like a job zone 1, you find that you might not get, let's assume it's a farm hand, someone who works in a farm or whatever. You find that you will go to Indeed and you will type, and you will find that job is there. But if you apply, you find that you might not get it, because when you go to the embassy, they look at the qualified people. Even the DV lottery, I told you guys that everybody can apply, but when it comes to proof, you have to prove that you have gone to high school and gotten your high school certificate, or you must have a job with minimum experience of 2 years, which is in a zone, the zone 4, with an SVP of 7 and greater. So they have those categories, and those categories, why they have those is filters. Those are filters. You see what I mean? So you find that there are some jobs that you will find there in Indeed.com, and you apply when you are outside US, and you will not be able to come and work here. So you have to know all that stuff, put all that into context, go read about it, and then you will know, you will be better equipped. But you find that when you tell someone that I need you to get me a job, I need you, no, here nobody gets you a job. You do it for yourself. If you have the right documentation, you do it for yourself. Even if you come here with a work visa, if you come here with a work visa, normally at the company that has hired you, you will work for them. There are some companies who hire foreigners, but they can only work for that company that has hired them. Those people cannot go to work outside. They can only work for that, whatever. And that's why I say that the only visa that the only whatever visa that doesn't have a limitation is the DV lottery visa. Because when you have that one, you come here, you become a permanent resident. You can work anywhere. You don't have any limitation. If you are a student, you find that you can only work in the college that you have, that you are in, and maybe after some time, if you are in hardship, if you are not able to pay your school fees and all that stuff, then you can talk, and that is on an individual basis. It's not a must. It is on an individual basis that they can let you to go and work outside. So what I need you to do is to understand all these things, because you have to understand like how it works. So when someone is out there and they're saying, oh, please get me a job, it's hard, guys. It doesn't work like that. US is a little bit different. It's not like the way it is in Africa, whereby it depends on who you know. It doesn't depend on the qualification or that. This one, it depends on you. It depends on you. You go and you go for the interview, but even if you're new, You go for the interview. My first interview, when I went for my first interview, I was so worried. I didn't think that I thought that maybe they were going to ask me whatever, whether I know English or where I come from or whatever. They didn't ask me all that. The only thing that they told me was that, what are your strengths? And I told them my strengths. What are your weaknesses? And I told them my weaknesses. And that was it. And I got a job. So you find that it's very easy. But the first thing that they look at is, are you qualified? And even when you are filling out your paperwork, there's a place that is going to ask you, are you authorized to work in the US? They have to ask that. No matter how good you are, they will ask, what kind of visa did you come with for you to qualify to work? So it's very important for you guys to know that. Now, let me see. This one is saying, thank you for the topic. Please, could you talk about coming to work in the USA as a Kenya full trained doctor? I am going to do a separate video for that. Because that one I have to go like and do a good research on that. I'm going to do a separate video on that. Maybe on Monday. It will be on Monday. Let's see. Now this one is saying, please, I am a salesperson in a small shop and I used high school diploma as my qualification. Please, I'm filling out the DS-260 about the present work and previous work. Do I need to send any documents about work I am doing to the interview, even though I am a salesperson in a small shop? Now, for this question, I said, if you have gone up to Form 4 and you have your certificate, you are qualified. But when you're filling out your DS-260, they will ask you the work that you do. And I gave you an example of myself. I used to train people in hair and beauty, but I had already gone to high school. So when we went for the interview, we gave them the high school certificate. But on the DS-260, of course, I had to tell them the job that I was doing. But if you have your Form 4 certificate, you don't have to worry about the job that you're doing. Just state there what you're doing, because the Form 4 certificate, you have already qualified. The person who does not qualify is that person who does not have a Form 4 certificate. They have to prove that they have a job, and that job is a job zone 4 with an SBP of 7. You have to get that. You have to be able to differentiate those ones. About sending the documents, like I said, I did a video and they have changed. People are no longer sending documents to the KCC like before, because we had to send documents by mail. That is not done. What is happening right now is that after you have been called in your second notification letter, and that one comes in your email, the email that you gave when you did your first application, when you're going for your interview is when you will go with your original documents to the embassy. So don't worry about the job that you're doing. If you have reached Form 4, but you have to state what you do. You have to state to them what you do, because a job is a job. But if you have reached Form 4, you're good to go. You should not be worried about the job that you're doing, and at the same time, do not get worried about sending documents. Documents are not being sent anymore to KCC. Okay, now, that is good for those who are already practicing nursing. They don't have to wait for the DV lottery. Yeah, but still, like I said, it still takes very hard work, and it still takes the right agencies for you to get a nursing job. And I hope that you watch that video so that you can see the process, because it's a process. Like I said, you cannot just come as a nurse in Kenya and come and practice. There are some things that you have to do until you qualify to become a nurse, and until you have a license, because here you must practice with the license. The person with the 30K number, I said, please follow my bulletins. I do my bulletins as they come up, and see when the cutoff is gonna be below 30, is gonna be 30,000 and below, or maybe above 30,000 and below. Then you will know that you will be going for that month. But I cannot tell you the specific day, because the visa availability and visa appointments depends on the consular. They plan it. They plan on how they will give. What I do is just to read the visa bulletin, how it is there. And that's public information. And I tell you, after I have read it, go back there and verify from travel.state.gov, verify, and know that, so that you can be up to date. It's always good to be up to date. And why I say verify is because, and this is, I'm an African, and coming from Africa, I know that Africans, we don't like reading. We do not like reading. We like hearsay. What I tell you guys is that even if I bring information here, go back and verify from travel.state.gov. See, what she said, was it true, or is it, just verify, it's like a teacher. The teacher has given a certain topic, you talk about it, and they tell you to cite a certain page or to get the information from a certain page. But then you decide, I'm not going to go to that website. I'm going to go to another website and do it. Your teacher has to verify where you got the information from. So even if you had very good information, but you did not use the right website, then that means that you will not get all the points. And that is why I say, guys, it's always good to verify. Always verify what I'm talking about. Go there, read. And that is why, when we won the DV lottery, I didn't know about that website, guys. I did not know. Hmm? I did not even know that they give out the guidelines for filling out the DV lottery. Nothing. And that is why I talk about it. So it's a guide. For me, it's a guide for you to know where you can go and get the information. That is what I do here, because I need you. By the time you guys are coming here to the US after you win your DV lottery or whatever way that you're coming, at least you have something. I can go to certain website and read and get even just travel.st.gov. There's so many websites. Even when we were filling out the DV lottery, it was funny that I could put in the website there where you are going to apply the whatever, the for the green for the whatever, for the DV lottery, and then someone else would bring a different website and tell me, is this the one? So that is why it's good for you to verify and also to watch these videos. These videos are important, but unless you take your time and watch them, then you're not gonna know what's there. Because when I see the questions, I can tell that this person has watched my videos, this person has not watched my video. So I can always tell. So it's always good to take your time, watch the video, and see what the video is all about. Okay, let's say this one was commenting about the snow. Yes, it snows in Kansas. It does snow in Kansas, but normally it snows in January for some reason, because like this time we got snow on January 1st, and then we got snow on the 4th. So it normally becomes very cold in January, and it snows. It tends to snow a lot when we are almost out of the winter, because we'll be out of the winter soon, maybe 1 or 2 months, and then we are going to be out of the winter. Okay, now let's see if another one. People are saying they love Kansas. This is a very good question from Rugi Jackie. She is asking, what is the minimum grade for an RN? Now, I'm not going to talk so much about the grade, because you can even come here with a D, and you go to school and you better your grades. They will tell you, do this class, do this prerequisite, and then your GPA is going to be high. It's going to be higher. It is counted by GPA. Maybe there's a GPA, a very good GPA is 4.0. That's really good. Even 3.5 is not very bad. Even 3 is not very bad. But normally, you find that even if you had failed, or maybe your GPA is a 2.0 or 2.5, whatever, you find that they will tell you these are the classes that you can do. And what I say is that you cannot compare the grades for Africa with the grades for here. You cannot do that. I'm not saying that African system education is bad. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that whatever you come with here, your form for certificate, when you come with it here, normally what happens is that they will send you to a certain website, you submit your documents, and they are going to be evaluated. When they are evaluated, they get an equivalency. Whatever your form for diploma or certificate, it is equivalent to this. And then when you come with all that, then you go to an advisor, and the advisor will tell you, these are the classes that you're supposed to do. These are the classes that you're supposed to do. And I'm going to give you an example of math. When I came here, I think I had a C minus in math. Yeah, I did have a C minus in math. So when I came here, after I had taken sent my certificate to be evaluated, and then it was sent back. I remember when I went to school, I did it's called an entrance exam. Just it's just a test. They give you math, they give you English, and they give you reading. When you go to the college, you'll do like a simple test. Now, when you do your math, that will gauge you where you are at. So when I did my math, they told me that I would start with intermediate algebra with review. With review, that meant that I had a book that I had to read and then do the math. So I did that one, and then after that, after I did that one, is when I did college algebra. But then there was another friend of mine who was told to do a lower grade of math. I can't remember what it was called, but it was lower than intermediate algebra with review. And then now she then did intermediate algebra with review, and then now she went to do college algebra. So what do I mean? I mean that your counselor is gonna decide this is what this person can do, or this is where they can start, so that they help you so that you can achieve that level that they want before you go to do nursing. Because when you go to do nursing, of course, there's a lot of math. Oh my gosh, dosage calculation is hard. So you have to know math for you to be able to calculate those dosages, because you find that when you're giving your patients some medication, you have to convert. Because let's assume that you have a whole bottle of medicine that you have been given, and the doctor wants a certain order. That's what they want you to give a certain amount to the patient. You're not going to give a whole bottle. You have to calculate and know this is what I'm giving. Same case when you become an RN, you'll be doing as you'll be doing IV medication, you'll be giving people shots. So you find that this is what the doctor wants to give you, but the bottle, the little bottle that you have to whatever to get the medicine from, it's small. So for you, you have to know how to calculate all that, and that is done in nursing school. So they have to make sure that you have done math, and you know what you're doing in math, because especially you find that if you go to nursing school, even not even the first semester, yeah, if you don't pass your math in 100%, you're not gonna go on. You'll have to repeat that class. So so they gauge you and they tell you this is where you start, and that is why you have to do prerequisites. If it is English, you find that the English here is different from the English that is done in Africa. Some things are called different. Even if I can tell you something like the chips. When I talk about chips, I talk about those potatoes that have been fried. Here, they are called fries. But in Africa, we call them chips. Now, chips here is a different thing. When you talk about chips, you talk about the potatoes that have been, I don't know if they have been fried or whatever they have been done, but they're very hard. And that one, we give them a different name back there. So you find that it's different, guys. It's different. And that is why you have to learn the English here. You have to do the written English, and you have to do reading. There are some words that will come up and you will not even know, like you won't know them unless you go back and read and know about them. So you find that you will do those prerequisites. It doesn't matter the grade that you are on. You will do those prerequisites, and before you advance to go to do nursing. Another thing, let's assume that you had qualified through your spouse. Maybe your spouse had gone up to high school and you qualified through them as a spouse, and maybe you had not gone to high school. You can still come here and go and do your GED. You can come, you go to school, you do your GED. It is done. You do your GED, you start from there, and then you go, and then after you have done your GED, you have your GED, then you go on and you become a nurse. Everything is doable, guys. It is doable. You only need to know the system, and you only need to know. So the grades does not matter so much. It doesn't matter. It's not like in Kenya they get and I'm gonna talk about Kenya because I went to school in Kenya, and I believe most African countries were grading the students like that. You find that if you did not have a certain grade, then maybe you could not go to campus. When I finished high school, I remember very well. When I finished high school, it was very serious because the people who were going to campus they had a B plus. If you didn't have a B plus and above, you could not go to campus. You couldn't. You could not go to, even if you were smart, you had a C plus, you couldn't go to campus unless you went to a private one. You could not go to the public one. You see what I mean? But you find that here is a little bit different. Even if you did not have a good grade, they will help you to go and achieve that good GPA. They will not send you away and say that you are not going to come to this school. No, you start from where you started. They help you. Of course, you will do many classes so that until you reach up there. But if you are willing, you start from down there that your counselor tells you this is where you can start according to your grade, and then you go up until you have done all those classes, and then they feel that you're good to go, then you can go and do nursing. See what I mean? So there's all that help that you get. So you shouldn't be worried so much about the grade that you got, because here people are not valued by their grades, that you got 100% and that one got 50%, or that one goes to the corner. No, it's not like that. It's a little bit different. I find it very, very different, and I find so much help. Even the kids who are not, even when you have your kids and some of them are struggling in school, you find that they get extra help. So maybe especially our immigrant children, when they come here, they don't know so much English. Mm? So the first thing that they do is to learn the spoken English. After they learn the spoken English, then they have to write it, and they, of course they have to adapt on the teaching here. You find that teaching here is more practical. It's more practical. It's more about, if they are doing math, they will use some marbles to do the math, or maybe some they can even use, for a good example I can give you, maybe they can use some coins. It's like something that they can touch, and count. It's more practical. That's how I've seen it. Or maybe a game, a certain games. There's so many games that are there that they are taught with. Maybe some cartoons there, and it's math, even like sounds, and this is good because I remember my daughter, the one who is about 5 year old, for how she knew to pronounce the sounds was a certain whatever that I just googled online, and there was this cartoon that was saying those sounds, and she was able to say the sounds. You see what I mean? So here it's more something that you're seeing, something tangible, for them to teach the children, and they say that this child needs this help, this child needs this help, and you get help. The kids get help according to where they are. They get help according to where they are. So you find that the same case, if you did not do well in your school, don't worry. When you come here, you will get help, and you will advance. You will advance. You will advance. The way you hear stories of people who have gone back to Africa and they say that I had a D plus and I became a doctor. Yes, you can. It works because that D plus, when you came with it here, they started you from your level where you are. You didn't go straight to become a doctor, no. They started from your level. You went and did all those classes and improved your grades and improved your grades and improved your grades until you are good, until you got to the GPA that is the level of applying for the doctor school. And then you did all those classes that they need you to do, because there are so many classes that you have to do. There's so many lessons that you have to do. And with time, you will get there. You see what I mean? So the grade should not be something to worry you about, if you're coming here and you're coming here with the right documentation. So I hope that I have answered most of your questions. And now the last one that I'm going to talk about, if one got checked and won, can he decide to fill the DS-260 letter? If yes, then how? Now, if you win your DV lottery, like I said, if you check and you find that you have won your DV lottery, the best thing for you is to fill out the DS-260. They'll start looking for the passport for your family members, and then fill out the DS-260 as soon as possible. After you fill out the DS-260, then forget about it and wait for you to get the notification letter. That's the best thing. But what are you waiting for? Are you going to wait to fill out the DS-260 after 6 months? No. If you have won, you have won. Fill out your DS-260 and wait. Because when you're filling out the DS-260, the only thing that you need to do, if you had family members and they didn't have passports, that's all that you need to get for them. You fill out your DS-260. Right now, they're not sending documents to whatever, to KCC, and then you wait. You start looking for money, waiting to see whether you are going to be called for the interview or not. Because you have to look for money. I said the medical you will pay, and the interview you will pay. So what I would advise someone is that as soon as you win, fill out your DS-260 and wait, because it's not going to charge you to fill it out. Just fill it out and submit it, and then wait. So that's what I can advise. So guys, I hope that I have answered most of your questions, and I hope that you find this video helpful. If you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel, guys. You guys are awesome. Sometimes I don't even know what to say. I can only thank you, and I'll see you on Monday on my live show. I hope that you enjoy this. So thank you, and God bless you.